I'm just going to quick. I mean, listen, the lineup is, Leroy Sané for Bayern Munich, Jamal Musiala, one of the most promising young stars in Europe, Serge Gnabry, who has his own right as a player, of course, Goretzka, Ilkay Gundogan, from Man City. Rudiger is no slouch. Sule is no slouch. Joshua Kimmich, we know what he can deliver. And to your point, Thomas Muller, he's not exactly 40 years old. This is unacceptable, I think, for Germany.
Yeah, but what can they do? What can they do, Luis?
Get out of the group. Get out of the group. Get out of the group.
I know, but it's fine. Okay, it's fine for us to shout and yell, get out of the group, get out of the group. Okay, gotcha, right? But they drew with Spain, or pretty darn good. They can't travel back in time. It's unbelievable. You're making me defend Germany here, but
I know. Why are you doing
that? That's worth the entry money in itself.
But it's not like Hansi Flick can travel back in time to that second half against Japan and say, "Hey guys, be better. Manuel Neuer, be better. Don't get beaten on your front post. Nico Schlotterbeck, don't be a fool."
Hansi Flick
right?
deserves no criticism here.
Sorry?
Does Hansi Flick deserve any kind of criticism here?
I mean, I think obviously, I think he does, because Germany could be better, and ultimately the buck stops with him. But what I'm saying is, it's the weird dynamic of this World Cup and the way the group panned out, that you should be able to lose your first game if you're a big nation, and then come back. And maybe if they had been a number one seed, then in a different group, that would have happened. Yeah. It didn't happen this time around. And they go out, and they deserve to go out. It's as simple as that. But I think that's where the damage was done, in those second 45 minutes just here up the road at the Khalifa Stadium. That's where it was done. And then you couldn't put the toothpaste back in the tube at that point.
Yeah, similar to Mexico and Poland, and not beating Poland in the first game. Shaka, Manuel Neuer.
Well, sorry. With all due respect. Not similar to Mexico and Poland, because Mexico is not Germany.
Time out. I'm not.
And Japan
don't do this to me, Gab Marcotti. I am not comparing Mexico and Germany as teams. I'm comparing.
I'm sorry.
I'm comparing the narrative of what happened. I love you, Gab. Be happy that Japan topped the group. Shaka Hislop, Manuel Neuer.
I'm hyperactive. Sorry.
Talk to me about Manuel Neuer, Shaka Hislop, as a goalkeeper. Gab just said some notable points about their star goalkeeper, but Germany are not lacking in goalkeepers, I believe. But what would you make of Neuer in this tournament?
Listen, Manuel Neuer is still one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and still the best that Germany has to offer. And I know they're not short of options. I'm struggling to kind of remember, and you have to forgive me, it's been a long tournament. We've seen a lot of goals. I'm struggling to remember. I can't remember the first goal today for Costa Rica, in all honesty. But in listening to the commentary here, they were a little bit critical of Neuer in the second goal, which I thought was unfair on Neuer in Costa Rica's second goal. All he could do is make himself big. The ball hit him, and then hit the Costa Rican player on the knee and finds its way into the back of the net. That was just unlucky. And yes, and listen, I take the point again, without explicitly remembering the goals that he conceded, that Manuel Neuer, like everybody else for Germany, could have been better. But I think still, when this dust is settled, and when somehow Germany have kind of figured out why they're out in the group stage yet again, Manuel Neuer will still be regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Maybe some of his powers are waning, but he's still an incredible player for Germany to have to call on.
Yeah, well, 100%. By the way, our producers with some great stats here, as Gab was saying, gives us some jewels of information. Let's talk about Spain for a second. They end up second in this group, Gab. Spain's chances to progress, by the way, went up by coming second in the group, because with the loss, Spain likely avoids being in the same quadrant of the bracket as Brazil, right? And also Spain's percentage chance to reach the semifinals goes from 35% to 43%, and the final from 23% to 25%. A lot of numbers, et cetera, et cetera. Bottom of the story is their immediate match right now is against Morocco, not Croatia. Gab, we talked about Croatia, how tough they are. What do you think that was a subconscious decision by Luis Enrique? A good that meme, right? With that one is that a good one, Gab? What do you think?
I don't even though I was actually, I was texting with my best friend who's Spanish, and I was saying, like, we were saying he should do that. Like, my friend doesn't like Luis Enrique for many different reasons. But he was saying, like, it's the obvious thing to do. This is your chance to knock out Germany, right? Once Germany had gone 3-2 up, just stop playing. Costa Rica are not going to come back. So just stop playing, don't score. But of course, that's not football. That would have been akin to, that weird 1982 game involving Germany, or West Germany as it was then, in Austria. That would not have been sporting. So they went for it. But you're right. It is in Spain's interest, because not only did you knock out a potential winner in Germany, even though not a favorite, but yeah, you're out of Brazil's bracket. And, sometimes finishing second can help a lot. Look at England last World Cup, right? They finished second, and they had, in their group, losing the third group stage game to Belgium. And as a result, they had a far easier run to the semifinals than certainly Belgium had. That said, Morocco, no pushover at all. And I'm not sure that Morocco is necessarily a softer touch for Spain than Croatia would have been. In fact, I think if I'm Spain, I would have rather played Croatia than Morocco.
I'm in total agreement with you there, Gab. And listen, coming into this tournament, and here's a little bit, another of my own confessions. I always feel that certainly in region, one team does exceptionally well in one team from that region. In 2002, South Korea got all the way to the semifinals. I know as co-hosts. In 2010, Ghana, in South Africa, they were a missed penalty away, which we were discussing earlier, away from getting to the semifinals themselves. And then with this one, I was in a couple of minds as to who would be the team to represent. I'm going to roughly say the Middle East, and I know Morocco and North Africa, but in a general catchment area. And I kind of felt it was between Morocco and Iran, and in my pre-tournament, I'm not sure how to describe it, but I went with Iran.
Shaka, should have gone the other way.
I'm back in Morocco to be that shining example. So I say all that just to make the point that while the numbers may have changed, I don't think that this is a Morocco team that you take for granted any time at all. Look at the quality that they have to call on, just in terms of pure talent. Look at what they represent, and nothing says that this is any easier for Spain.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.